How's it going? Morning, morning. Good morning. We'll let some people join in here and then we'll start. There's really not much to talk about today. We'll let everyone join in and then we'll start the bias. I just woke up a few minutes ago, so we can talk about it. The thing about Bitcoin is there's just not much happening with it. It's in a range. So we can also talk about that. Did you take any trades today? Unless I took them in my sleep. No, I did not. Brazil. Where's everyone from? Well, look at gold. Guys, we'll go over all of that starting at 9:10. I was just starting it a few minutes earlier. Serbia, Kansas City, hey, Midwest, Greece, Cape Town. I actually love Cape Town. Like one of my favorite places on earth. Pakistan, China, Spain, Santa Fe, Vegas, Kenya, India, South Africa, Indiana. Let's go. My brother's wife is from Indiana. Oregon. Please give me mental advice. That's not a city, but we can talk about it. All right, sweet. We got a bunch of different places, it seems. Virginia, India, Korea. North Korea or South Korea? I'm just kidding. All right, well, shall we begin? We have enough time before the open, but there's really nothing to do before the open, so I'm not in a rush. Wait. All right, so if you were on Twitter yesterday, this is kind of all I was looking for. If you notice, right, we have a really quick, we'll just go ahead and update this really quick and then throw an extra candle or two in there. So if you notice, right, we're just going to talk about YM. We have a candle 2 closure. We have the change in the state of delivery, right? We have this continuation lower this day. Now for me, why was I pointing out this level, right? Why did I call for this level yesterday on Twitter and not this level? Well, you have to think about something called average daily range or just expansion candles, right? If you take a look at our previous expansion candles, right, or just candles in general, they're usually around 700, 800 points on YM, right? So when looking at this day and we already go 500, I'm like, we're pretty exhausted already. We can go a little bit more, right? 700, 800. I'm not really thinking that we go 1,000 points in a day, right? So that's why that was my target that I tweeted out. It's a similar thing to gold, right? I didn't really have much expectation other than for it to reach here. It surprises me a little and we go further, right? But that's because I didn't really think we were going to expand too much this day. I thought we were just going to go to this daily range and end. But let's go back to kind of what's going on, right? And we'll start with YM because it's the weakest. This would be more interesting to trade if we had hit a relevant level, right? So is this relevant? Sure, you can say that. But for me to define relevance, to trade back into the range on Friday. So this would be, some people will say TGIF, right? Because we have Tuesday high a week, Wednesday, Thursday expansion. The thing is, we're missing the part of hitting a relevant level. So we never hit this relevant level and none of the assets hit a relevant level here, right? So for that, there's no way for me to say that I want to trade this back into the range, right? It's more so of a day that I want to avoid just because we have large expansion, we don't hit a relevant level. It's more so consolidation set up for me. Right now, if I wanted to do something, I just don't really see much. And so that's why I'm saying we're going to have to wait for the open to see if there's anything that will clear up. The only way I could frame that, let's see, let's speed through it one more time. Yeah, I don't really like it at all. Because I would say you can frame it back into this current range, but we left this high. I was hoping for some sort of SMT there. So I don't really care for indices right now. Previous 2 days I could anticipate something, or whenever I streamed, right? What did I stream? Tuesday, Wednesday? No. Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, these 2 days, right? These are the 2 days I streamed on YouTube. Yeah, those are the 2 days we talked about. So never mind. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I could anticipate something. I didn't really do much here or here. So 3 days of the week, right? Gold, kind of the same thing as, let's clean up the chart. Right, we take a look. I was speaking about this. If you watch my Ninja Trader stream on Tuesday as well, but I was saying this is a range, right? We're at the range high, and then the only interest to me is trading back lower, right? I don't long over these highs. This is where you get caught. So I'm looking for this to go lower. On this day, it was kind of lethargic, and so was I streaming on this day? I think I might have been. No, this was me in the Discord. No, I was saying that I just wanted it to go here, right? You guys remember in stream? You can go back and look. Right, once it goes there, right, then the next day we still respect this candle, and then we have this trade lower, right? I was just looking for it to go to the previous day low, right? Because if you look, it sets up equal lows at the previous day low. So I was just looking for that move. I didn't really care much because we're in a consolidation range. Yes, we favor to the low of the range, but a lot of times if it's going to still remain bullish, it's going to act at the EQ, right? So anyways, not much for that. I would favor still lower to previous day low because I'm looking towards this side of the range, right? Now, does the current daily profile support that? It's just ranging, right? So let's talk about what this would look like. We do have SMT there. So we can watch around 10 a.m. because that's when I get a new 4-hour candle. But if we get a new 4-hour candle, because this one doesn't currently support expansion higher, I would like to potentially see this next 4-hour candle trade into previous day low, so 10 a.m. But we'll see how it reacts, right? Or what it does around that time. Other than that, let's go take a look at oil. Don't really have much interest unless we make a gap today, and then Monday we can trade into the gap. Dollar, we already went into the highs. So that means we spoke about this as well. If I wanted to short a foreign currency, I would have been looking to short euro or yen. That's what we were talking about. Or trade a foreign currency, right? Long yen, right? You can see it went into these highs. Short euro. And then that's just on something like an hourly chart, which I can't remember. Maybe, what time was this one? Thursday? Is that yesterday? Oh, this is, I was on stream yesterday talking about this short. You can see. Did his thing. We were at break even, but it was essentially this, right? And that's fairly simple in the setup of candle 2 closure, intra-candle change in the state of delivery. Literally the exact setup I would talk about on YouTube. So, yeah. We spoke about yesterday. Obviously traded into this low. That's the target for me. And then, you know, does it go further? Is there a higher time frame target? Yeah, these lows. Now, these lows get hit today. Now, this is something you could trade the reaction off of because we have 4 days of expansion. The only thing is, my preference for trading something against the weekly range, so like on Friday, is when we open and we have a small wick, right? This, could you trade it back into the range? Sure. Where are you looking for? The daily open, right? So it's less appealing to me. Like on this, you know, if I'm looking to trade this higher, my target is here. So it's less appealing. I prefer expansion, right? This is a lot easier trade than that. All right, but let's see what questions you guys got going now that we just kind of, can you show me where you see SMT on gold? Sure. So if you're looking right here on gold, right? We want to see if it respects the EQ. And if you look at the correlated assets, they already run out that high, right? Which this is not very good to see actually looking at it again. Because if it's not taking out that high at all, that usually means that gold's going to run to the high. But we'll see. Like, I don't really know or care for this price action. Right, we're in a range. And I spoke about this. I don't know if I spoke about it in this stream or Market Lens stream, but if I'm trading ranges, I want to focus around the edges of the range, trading back into the range, right? Edges of the range, trading back into the range. I don't want to focus on trading in the middle of the range, trying to exit the range. Does that make sense? Okay, let's see. Sorry I missed a lot of questions, guys. I was just kind of locked in there. Why didn't you go live yesterday? I was live in the Discord. Normally I'm live in the Discord on Mondays, but well, I have multiple streams a week in there, 3 total. But if I'm live in there, I can't be live here, you know? MNQ, please. I mean, that's the same as NQ basically. But like I said, I don't really have much interest because right, we react off previous day low, but we don't have any relevant level that is hit. And so really we can see how we act off the open and react to it, but I don't really have any anticipation for it. You mean in the lens, the market lens? Yeah, that's the market lens that just shortens to the lens. So it's like technically 2 names. Oh, before I forget, for those of you, Lucid using code TT at Lucid auto entered into 10. Sorry. So those are chosen over the weekend. We can do some giveaways today. I won't tell you what they are until we do them. Do you have a Notion trading journal template? You can just use the one I made for a journal on the YouTube video. Okay, but you can't afford to buy mentorship. And guess what? That's fine. You don't need to purchase a mentorship. Let's talk about something we have 10 minutes till the open anyways, right? What is my belief? Info should be free, right? So what do I do with that? I put basically everything on YouTube for free. Or anyone in the chat here in the market lens, can you guys confirm that like basically all the information is on YouTube? Like there's lots of times I funnel to YouTube from my mentorship and be like, hey, here's how to, you know, learn more on that concept, right? It's just right. So here's the thing, right? Because a lot of people say, oh, you have a course this. Yeah, I do, right? So I still believe info should be free, and that's why I put it all for free on YouTube. So you can't really say, oh, you're gatekeeping anything or anything, because I don't, right? There, it's all there on YouTube. Or if you want to make it more structured, right? It's not structured. Go to ttrades.com, go to education, click the fractal button. And guess what? That will take, let me do it really quick on my side monitor. If you do all that, guess what? Now you have all my videos organized into a little course almost, right? All for free on my website. Great. Now, so what is the benefit of my mentorship then if all the info is free on YouTube? People say this all the time too. Structure. That's the first one. And the main reason is I have it into like a 1.5 hour course. That's just straight through everything you need to know. Community, questions, streams. Mainly it's like you can ask me anything every day. So why is this paid? Why is this free? This is free because I believe info should be free for everyone. This is paid because I am actively putting my time into building the course, managing the community, asking questions, streaming. So this is not paying for the info. This is paying for my time. You get it? There's a big difference. So what do you get in the market lens? It's that, right? You don't really get too much more info. Like, guys, besides like some advanced things that I talk about in there, all the stuff's on YouTube. So if you don't have money, that's fine. You don't need money. Go to ttrades.com, click education, click fractal. I spent, what, 4 months or more making this education center. I literally spent 4 months making this all for free. If you go look, like click fractal and like look how many, all the videos have a light write-up, blog, PDF, everything. Right, it's all there. So anyways. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, exactly. It's paying for my time. I studied so hard the free info, pretty much learned the TTFM for free. Then I saved for 1 month of lens, took 3 19K pay or 1900 payouts on Apex and Feb. Oh yeah, that's fire. See, like guys, look. This is what I actually do see this a lot is people will learn my model completely for free and then they'll get payouts with it and then they come into the lens for a month just to refine stuff. This this shows you don't need to pay for information, right? It really comes down to, this is the same with life, guys. Stuff is put into time or money, right? YouTube, right? You save money, but you spend more time. Course. Save time, spend more money. You see what I mean? You can do that with everything in life. All the same. All right, let's see. I don't trade Forex. I do Forex currency futures if I'm ever going to trade it. Yeah, see, that's fire. No, I mean, even I can't buy Lucid due to financial problem. Well, here's the thing, guys. Ready? If you join my free Discord, look at this. I do giveaways every week. You just go here. I post free giveaways. You don't have to do anything to enter these. You just click a button. You can see 1500 enter that, 1200 enter this. It's on Monday or whenever in the week I do it, and then boom, today it does the giveaway, right? So then this person, they won a 50K Lucid Flex. This person won a Lucid Flex, and this person wins a Tradeify account, right? Like, there's opportunities to get giveaways without purchasing anything. Like, how to get unbanned from your Discord. Bro, how'd you get banned? Normally you don't just get banned for no reason, you know? So, if you explain to me why you get banned, send your Discord name. I'll unban you, but if you do something dumb again, you're just gonna get banned. Like, that's just how it works. Anyways, yeah, this is kind of annoying that it just disappears, but gold. We'll check on the 4-hour candle, but the only way this is gonna work is if this whole idea is correct of SMT, we're gonna have a 4-hour candle closure somewhere back in here. It's gonna use 0.5 of the wick, then the next candle will open up, hit that, and then go. It's kind of the only scenario that I'd be interested in, because if it closes lower, right, I don't want to see it reach all the way up there. That's a large wick. So the only way for it to sweep this high is if it closed higher, small wick. That's it for gold. There's really not much to look at today, and that's why I'm more so focused on just answering questions, right? Versus you saw the last 2 days I had something to talk about. Use OBS for this kind of info. Yeah, I'm not very advanced with OBS, so I'll have to like figure out how to do that. Explain how to invalid GU gap through daily time frame. GU. But here's the thing. I personally, if you guys know how I trade, I don't look for a reversal to form in this gap. I don't really care about that. I'm looking to trade swing points. So when this closes bearish, I'm looking just for this to be bearish. I don't really care about the gap. Will I look at it? Sure. But that's just going to be daily lows anyways, right? So you can just look, right? This is just a monthly low, right? Our other monthly low is here, right? Are these gaps. It's just daily lows, right? I don't really overthink it too much. But you just look, right? We hit this gap. Now, if we're going to have a reversal formed after this gap, what do you need? My phases is a price video. You need expansion here and then expansion back out. Well, do these candles tell you expansion? No. We hit the low. Sure, this reverses. Consolidation, consolidation. So now when we run higher, we're running into this gap. We form a swing point to trade lower. Right? You can use dollar to confirm that. Dollar hits this. If we were going to reverse on dollar, we would have needed a reversal. Which even on this extra sweep here, this candle would have had to trade pretty aggressively lower. It doesn't, right? It forms a reversal candle, right? So that's how you see it. The previous candle didn't close outside. How can it be bearish? Well, let's take a look here. You guys have to realize, right? I'm going to also tell you something. I created my model. How do I make everything mechanical? This is what I had to ask myself, because if you teach someone, you have to make things mechanical, because how can you teach someone something and then have 5 different people do it separate ways, right? It all needs to be the same. So I had to figure out mechanical ways to define swing points, right? Which is a candle 2 and a candle 3 closure. This one's almost a candle 3 closure, right? And in my first version of the course, before I refine it down as well, this would be a candle 3 closure because I just used the EQ and the disrespecting of it. But then I adjusted it because I realized people didn't get that. They got it confused. But this is a bearish candle, bearish monthly candle, right? It didn't close below the open, but it's still bearish to me. So as long as we respect the EQ on this one, it's still bearish. Make sense? So this is still a bearish candle to me, even though it's not a candle 2, right? It's not as easy to see as this one, right? It's not as easy to see as that one. But we hit a high and then we have a pretty aggressive candle, right? How to calculate average daily range. Oh, we just had the open, so let's go take a look at the open. Yeah, let's see. YM stronger, NQ weaker. So I could see NQ falling back into there. YM runs to that high. Or it's gonna, or maybe it just goes on a tear today. I don't really care too much, but this, you can't deny this is a pretty good target. But right now, NQ is the weakest, YM is strongest. Well, honestly, I'd give it 5 minutes to clear up because we do have this high. If we didn't have this high, it would be a little bit easier. But depending on how we react on this high, right, NQ can do its thing. How is ICT or fractal model more solid than other Robin Cup strategies from your POV? Personally, I've never looked at other, like I don't pay attention to any of that stuff. I don't know what strategies people are trading or anything. You guys got to realize you have so much time and energy each day, and so many people waste it on social media, like having beef and stuff. I don't have time to do that. All right, so we're reacting there. Let's give it 5 minutes. I remember you talking about weakness and strength in a previous live, and you said that NQ is strong and YM is weak, then you have to wait for NQ to see ISD and then short YM. It balances out, right? This isn't, I don't really have much bias, so I don't really care to anticipate like that. But let's say I had a really strong bias. Well, then I would want to see if YM continues through this high, then ideally ES also forms a change of state over here to continue higher, right? But to me, if it continues through this high, this is the next target. There's not much range through it, right? So it's kind of like, here's the lesson. YM, ES, NQ, right? Those are the 3. YM and NQ are kind of always on the opposite ends. So if YM is strong, then NQ is weak, ES is in the middle. YM is weak, then NQ is strong, ES is in the middle, right? So that's kind of how it looks. So like right now, right? YM is stronger, NQ is weaker, ES is in the middle, right? And that's what I used, right? When we were you go back to my videos on Monday, Tuesday, this is kind of what I used, but I didn't talk about it so directly, right? Or I kind of did. I actually did. I was like, yeah, I actually did. Because that section was, okay, YM is the weakest. So here's YM. Ready? YM here. NQ here. NQ was holding up, right? It's like that. YM was like this. So I was waiting for YM to form a reversal off this low, because then NQ should trade higher, right? It's just more advanced relative strength and weakness stuff. I know of Arjo, but I've never watched his stuff personally. Why would YM trade so close to that daily ERL and then reverse? You guys got to realize here. So many of you guys are like brainwashed into knowing everything. Can't spell. Guess what? I don't know everything. Never will. Sometimes I don't know what is going on. So people will be like, hey, why did price reverse here? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, there's not always a reason for things, guys. Like, you have to figure out the times that you understand what is going on when you don't. YM is reversing down. I mean, sure. I tend to not go down. This does not look like a reversal to me yet. Like, to me, this is expansion. This is slow. So usually it's like either a dip or just a close over to continue, which then means ES would want to hit this gap and then continue. But we'll see. I don't really care. Like I said, that's why I'm not on the 1 minute chart. Why would I go to the 1 minute chart when I don't really have a bias or care? Right? But just strictly phases of price. This is expansion. This is a shallow retracement. I'm not saying this is a reversal. So then I'd want to see this expand here. Right? Usually that would be after the first 5 minutes. So then I can just wait for the closure. There we go. We closed over. So what are we going to do now? I just don't care. Right? I don't have a bias. So that's why would I do that? I'm just showing you the relative strength and weakness, right? If you can identify that, it helps, right? If you can practice, right? I know NQ is weaker, YM is stronger. YM is stronger, NQ is weaker. So very simply put, if I wanted to short something, I'd be focused on NQ. Long something, YM. Does that make sense? Which is why I said, okay, I could see NQ trade into this gap here, right? Well, YM into the highs, right? Right now it makes no sense. People will be like, what is going on? They're trading separate ways. And it's like, yeah, it can make sense, right? Not everything's going to make sense. Like, to me, it makes sense that this trades here. But on NQ, it also makes sense that NQ trades there. Those are opposite directions. They're not always correlated, right? Like right now, they're negatively correlated. They're going other ways. And that's why NQ or ES will just be consolidating, right? Because it's in the middle. Make sense? All right. You do the top down for analysis. I already did top down, guys. So you can just restart on the, like, scroll back in the stream. Does the candle 2 closure have to form from a key level? Yeah, I prefer to have it form from a key level. 4 hour doesn't always need to. Daily doesn't always need to. I don't really know what a strength switch is, really. So I don't use it. I just use it how I'm talking about it here, guys. You know what I mean? It's just how I think about it. Silver has a nice C2 close. Yeah, so we were talking about gold, right? Ideally, gold reaction on SMT. And then we get a closure down, like I was saying. And then we can see the 0.5 of this wick being respected, right? So which would be going to the 15 minute. I would need a new continuation here though, because here's the thing. This is a range. Right now we're taking out the real low in the range. I would need another continuation just so show we're not reversing here. A lot of people will just enter short and then they get ran out. Right? Not the best highs, so you need a continuation if you're going to look at that. I personally don't care for it today because, like I said, on the daily chart, oops, we're just kind of at the middle part of the range. I would favor to the downside. But I'd rather be late than early. That's my thing. I didn't reach into it. Well, YM's through there. So going back, this is what I was meaning with the phases of price, right? that is a retracement. That's not a reversal, guys. Think about it. You know what a reversal looks like. Expansion up, expansion down, a V shape, right? This is a retracement. That's why I was saying into the eye. What is the T spot and X? Well, the X is showing that a model has failed, and the T spot is where I'm looking for price to react. So if you look here, it's gray. I'm looking for price to react in this area. It's green. I'm looking for price to react in this area. Right? We can go back to the 5 minute now. I don't really care to sit down there and watch the 1 minute. So that's what I'm saying. Remember when I say, hey, look at the phases of price? We run into this high, you look at the phases of price here. The phases of price doesn't tell you reversal. So then you anticipate it to go here. This is the next target. So then you do the same thing. Are we going to react here and reverse? Or are we just going to continue up into here? And that's why I would prefer NQ to reach into here. Maybe as 15. Yeah, I would have preferred NQ to reach into a gap, which is fine. But then if we're going to reverse here, then we should see all of them. Like we should see YM. Whoa, what was that? We should see YM trade higher. Yes, continue. And generally here, I don't like to trade the lagging asset. So I don't really like trading NQ because it's weak, right? So I generally tend to prefer that middle one or the leading one. So like if you go back to my one trade review I posted on ES, it's because one is leading and then I just take the middle one. I'd like to learn open, high, low, close. Well, go to ttrades.com, go to the education center and type in open. And look, ready? Guys, you'll find everything there. You go here, type in open, and what do you have? Understanding open, high, low, close. Click on that and you'll learn it. All right, let's see. All right, now we've have 5 minute closure there. So now we want to see what this does. Anyways, all right, we're at 1,000 people. Should we give away an account? Do a giveaway? Let me know in the chat. Should we do a giveaway? It seems like people want a giveaway. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to... Oh, this guy says no. He doesn't want a free account. That sucks. All right, so I'll give you guys the link. You can go to this link and then I'll put the code on the screen, okay? I'm going to drop the code on the screen. And then you guys, I'll tell you what it is as well. And then it's just a speed test, I guess. I don't know. I'll figure out for next week or the weeks following a better way to do these giveaways, but here you are. There's the code. Make it a bit bigger. Oh, it's already as big as it is. That is a Lucid 50K Pro Eval with that code. And if it doesn't work, it means that you didn't get it, okay? Because a lot of people come in and say, it's not giving 100% off. Yes, it's a single code. Right. What do we do with it? Well, you would have gone to this HTTPS lucid.ttrades.com. You go to this, I'll pin it. You go to that, and then you would have inputted the code. This is the discount code for 50K Pro Eval. Already taken. Yeah, chat gets quiet because they're like, I gotta run and get an account. One more. We'll do more. We'll do more throughout the stream. Let me see what time I got meetings today. What time? Oh, I don't really have that many meetings today. We're chilling. They're already 13-year-old broccoli heads already locked and loaded. That's so funny. Doing it this way is fun. Yeah, but I want to like look in because I did it one time, like I think on Tradeify stream or something, they had marbles, where it was like everyone inputted and then we watched a marble show. And like whoever's marble ran the fastest won. Like that's way cooler. Or like a spin the wheel. Yeah, exactly. You know, like to me, that's more fun. All right. So you see how YM going like that? ES at least gets that move. That's that middle move. And then NQ, yes, it's going, but I don't like the lagging asset, right? But it has a nice target there. Now I'd expect ES to continue probably into this high, right? At least for short term until NQ hits this target, right? That's why it's up on my screen. I would have, like I said, I would have preferred it to hit this gap, but nonetheless. So now you see what's happening here. We had YM with a big move and then it's consolidating. The other assets are catching up, right? ES and Q, they're catching up to it. How many meetings do you have on average daily? I would say weekly. I do have meetings today. I usually have like maybe 2 or 3 a day. 1 to 2 to 3 a day. I don't know. It kind of depends on the day because I have other businesses and stuff. So, all right. So those are catching up. So if YM's not reversing here, generally speaking, it's going to go for the next level, right? Just kind of how it goes. So if it's going to go for its next level, then ES should also continue towards these highs, right? And then you just mark out those swing highs. Not really that deep. I have a few other online businesses, and then I have a actual, like I'm starting a supplement company, and a few other things that I run. I bought equity in some health companies, stuff like that, do some consulting. It's just random stuff I do. Not really random, but like not related to trading. Jolts impact any of your data? Not really. I don't really care too much about 10 a.m. news. How many hours a day do you spend looking at charts these days? Literally just when I hop on the screens, really. I hop on the screens and I'm like I hopped on and maybe I had 2 minutes to quickly look through before I hopped on stream. Not even. Like I just woke up. That's all I needed. If the daily's not obvious to you. So here's the thing, guys. If the daily's not obvious, going lower is not going to help because generally speaking, when the daily's not obvious, it's consolidating. So now you're going lower into a consolidation and getting chopped up, right? There's certain things you can use. Like I said, nothing was obvious for me today. And I said, I'm just going to wait for open. What does open do? Open kind of tells me that YM wants to run here. And then we have this target up here, right? So I'm just bullish, right? And it's mainly, like I was saying, the middle asset. Can NQ do something? Sure, right? It's actually switching and like going on a tear, but I don't normally predict that myself. So, you know what I mean? Said gold rocketed up. Well, and that's what I was talking about, right? If you're going to look, it would be 10 a.m. Like I said, it's not 10 a.m. We still have 15 minutes. And this is what I was saying. It's a low of a range, so it can just do that if it wants, right? And that's why I don't trade reversals, guys. I only look to trade continuations because I don't like getting stopped out of those moves. It's not fun to me. I don't know who loves to get stopped out of moves. It's not me. How about this? Someone smarter than me with OBS and YouTube and all of that, reach out to me on Discord and be like, here is how you set up a duck race or the marble or whatever it is for giveaways on YouTube, and then I will do that. Okay. Talk about Bitcoin. I already talked about Bitcoin. It's just more of we're in a range, right? Well, we're going to be out of the range in a second, but we exit the range high. We go back towards the EQ. We come up here. Are we going to get a reversal? No, right? It consolidates. Consolidation means continuation, generally speaking. And now it's going higher. Well, this is another simple trick, guys, is stop going so low for targets. Focus on the daily highs and lows. The only reason, like for instance on YM, why am I going lower? Well, because I don't know if I really want to see 1,000 points of range towards the previous day high. So I'm more so looking for targets around here where it's at its, daily range kind of. just do a 1 minute giveaway on Discord, but don't add everyone. We could do that, but then everyone has to leave here and go to Discord. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to do that. Let me see. We'll do more giveaways. If it hits 1,500 people in the stream, I'll do another giveaway. Otherwise, I'll do it a little bit later in the stream. What do you do if the stronger asset doesn't reverse? So here's the question, right? Let's say you have an asset up here, doesn't reverse off this high, it's trading higher. We have the middle asset that's kind of right here, and then we have the weaker asset that's like maybe here. Well, if this asset doesn't reverse and it's going to continue higher, and these are trading together, what should this one do? It should trade through this high and higher. What should this one do? Reach for that high, right? That's kind of what happened today. This is YM, this is NQ, this is ES. Oops. Right, but now it's reacting there. I need to clean this up. See what ES is doing. Yeah. I don't really have much bias anymore. So you have your targets. TT, are you mad at us? No, I'm not mad. I don't really get mad, guys. I don't get mad at all. Ready? Here. We'll do this. Ready? 1,400 people for a new giveaway. And do not do bots or something. I remember one time I streamed and I was like, if I have 10,000 people in here, I'll do a face reveal. And someone bought bots, bro, and they ran it up to 10,000 people. And I was like, that is a waste of money. I don't really care too much about the thing is, and that's what I was saying about the target, guys. Someone said his target previous day high. And that's what I was just saying here. Let's zoom in. I'll just clear up the chart. We don't need the drawings or anything. If I'm expecting, like I was saying, around 700-800 points on a day, right? You just had 2 large days, so a lot of times it can set up some more consolidation conditions. Am I expecting price to make the low here? Trade all the way there to 900? Not as likely, right? More around 700. You see we're right around 700. So that's why I was looking for targets in this area, right? Right? That's why I had these marked out. And why I don't care too much. Like this isn't a day I had a strong bias. I didn't come in here and I'm like, guys, this is what I think's happening, right? Versus, remember this day? Remember this day? Because I was streaming this day, yeah? Yeah, I was streaming this day. Remember when I was like, I'm only bearish, right? There's a big difference between a day like that and a day like this when I just don't really care what's going on. You guys are so funny in chat. Can I please have your consent on recreating your content as my bias for my content? I don't really know what you mean by that. Like if you're just going to use my PDFs and stuff, probably not. But I just don't really know what you mean. Am I a better trader than Nancy Pelosi? No. Bro, Nancy Pelosi is like so rich. She's insane. But I mean, if I had insider information, I could do that too. Then maybe. But like, let's be real. Am I a better day trader? Probably. She doesn't day trade. Is she a better investor? Yeah, she is. Like, come on now. I have seen your face with Tanya trades. I've never been posted on social media, so I doubt that, but is 50% win rate enough? It depends on your risk to reward. If you have a 1-to-1 R, no. If you have a 1.5 R, yes. If you have a 2 R, yes. All of that. I don't really have a bias, guys. That's why we're just answering questions. And it's just, if we have 1,400 people, we'll do a giveaway. I haven't decided if I'm going to do a face reveal or not. The thing is, I just don't think it helps anyone. Like, how does showing my face help anyone? You talk about dollar. Well, dollar just hit a really relevant high. Or no, it hasn't yet. That was euro. You can consider that SMT. I personally just like to use dollar as a standalone, but here's the thing. I'm not going to trade dollar after 1 bullish day, 2, 3, 4, right? This is candle 5. Candle 2, 3, 4. If you notice, my model only looks for 3 and 4, right? Because it saves you from a new phase. We have this. I wouldn't be trying to long up here, obviously, because we're already above these highs. Harder to try to short against the daily range. If you're going to short against the daily range, what's your target? Back to the daily open. So it's like kind of just looking for it to go back into here. It's just not really my thing. You can do whatever you want, man. I mean, if you copy my videos, I'll just copyright claim them. But if you want to use it as inspiration, sure. If you like do the same stuff, just funnel people to ttrades.com and I don't really care. Which time do you mark session highs and lows? I don't really mark session highs and lows, to be honest. I just mark highs and lows. Like, sure, do they line up? Yeah. Like here, I'm just looking, all right, well, if we're going to trade back higher, like I was saying on NQ to here, I'm not even like marking out London high here. You know what I mean? Like I'm not marking out this high. It doesn't have any relevance to me. So. Can you put a video, everything together? I mean, it's really just go to ttrades.com and hit fractal. There's not one video that covers everything, guys. Like, I don't have one video that covers every single concept, everything I use. The US 10-year is bullish and DXY is also bullish. GC1 is bearish and indices bearish. I don't use that much intermarket analysis because a lot of times, like, dollar doesn't even correlate to gold anymore. You know what I mean? Like, okay, it's been going up the past 2 months. Gold also gone up here. Like there's not much correlation to that. I don't use gold versus dollar. And then I definitely am not using dollar versus indices, personally speaking. Like I don't use that intermarket analysis because it doesn't help me in any way. So I don't do that. And I honestly don't really. Maybe back in 2022, the dollar acted pretty well with the indices, but hasn't. Hey, TT, can you make me profitable without having to put any effort in? Can you just possess me? Average. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm an impulse trader. What time frame would you recommend? I would recommend you go to ttrades.com and go find the video that's called My Favorite Fractal Model. That's what I would do. Does this war affect NQ, YM, and ES? Yes, this war affects oil, which, guys, everything kind of affects each other. You have to realize that. It just depends. Is there enough correlation for you to act upon that? For me, like, not much, right? This war is going to affect oil. Yes, it will affect the dollar. Yes, it will affect indices, but it's like, can you actually react on that? If not, then like, why are you focused on it? What do you think about this idea? NQ will reaccumulate in the 5-minute fair value gap and go higher with the daily profile. Well, we can go look at them because I just wasn't even looking at them. So NQ above the high. YM, so NQ has the strength now, kind of switched. I just don't really care, guys. Like, I'm gonna be so honest. I genuinely just don't care. I don't know what's going on. When stuff is confusing to me, I just don't watch it. Like, I don't pretend like I know everything. How long have you been trading? 2020, end of 2020, 2021, somewhere in there. Hey T, how much do you consider politics when defining bias? All right, guys, let me ask a question here. If you are trading the 5-minute or 15-minute chart, how much impact does politics have on you? Let me ask you that. And maybe we'll change this to macroeconomics because politics. Zero. I could care less what policy or whatever they're talking about when I'm trading a 15-minute chart. You know what I mean? Now, if I'm trading a monthly chart, like maybe I do care a bit more about what the Fed's saying, what's going on, all of that, right? Only a Trump tweet. Yeah, but I mean, do you have control over that? No, you have a stop loss. What's your diet? Um, I usually eat like dinner type meals for every meal. And it's mainly like I have protein, veggies, and then around 40 grams of carbs per meal. That's really what I eat. You've changed my life. Daily average, I'm up 2.11 over month. Backtest, got 140 wins, 122 loss. I'm so grateful you taught me everything for the strategy. Quit your job after a few more payouts. Thank you, Keen. Nice, that's cool. Congrats. Well done. Way to put in the work. Where is AM Trade's website progress? He's close to being done with it. My favorite time frame are entries. I would say like 5 minute, 15 minute. You can go lower if you need, but like sure, ready. If I had a strong bias to the downside right now, it's like this would be a setup for me to trade on YM, right? But I don't have any bias. I don't have any reason to say, hey, we should like. There's failure swings both sides. Sure, you have a V-shaped reversal. NQ's still holding up. Oh, it's coming back lower. Like, sure, but it's like I don't have any reason to be looking for this. This is where people fall into the problem of their pattern trading. They see some lower time frame formation. They're like, this looks really good. And then they just try to act on that, right? I don't do that because that's how you lose. In my opinion, that's how I lose. But I don't do that. T, maybe you should make a YouTube video that includes everything in your trading. So I actually just covered this. I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to make like a 18-hour video. Just it's everything on my website, ttrades.com. Go and click on fractal and that's it. Right? Did we even close below? No. Let's see, you have 2 reasons to not take this. You see what I mean? That's why I'm saying I'm not gonna like try to pattern trade something. That's literally what pattern trading is, and I'm glad it did that because it shows you what I mean. There's no model, there's no candle 2 closure, there's no change in the state. Well, you consider that change in the state delivery, but there's no model. Wow, T, what's your model? That's awkward. What's with all the mindset and wisdom you have, not in just trading but life? Can you recap a book or a video to watch? I don't really have a book that I read that like changed my life too much. T, you should make a 240 video non-stop explaining your strategy. You guys are just trolling at this point. All right, if everyone's trolling right now, we're gonna do a giveaway. So maybe you'll lock back in. Let me go find something that I can give away to people. Well, I don't know where they are. Okay, here we are. All right, I have gathered a code, I have gathered a link, I have gathered the name. Here is the link and a giveaway and a code. It is working. Anyways, don't care. T, why do we need two-stage CIC to execution? Oh, to trade C2. I don't know what two-stage CIC is. T, were you ever brain rotted on your phone all day? If so, how'd you stop? Sure, I've watched stuff on Instagram Reels and stuff. They're funny. I still watch them. Like last night I sent a few of my friends like funny Instagram Reels. Like they're fun. But it's like I don't sit there all day. It's like you either decide to make change in your life or you just continue doing what you're doing. So let's say, for example, let's say you are broke and trolling and rotting all day. Pretend that you are 10 years into the future and you look back and you're not where you want to be, nothing like that. And you're like, wow, if I could just go back and change something. Well, now you're already back and here you are. So maybe change something, right? Like the thing is, so many people have this victim mentality that stuff's just going to get better for them. You have to work. You have to actually put in the work and try and have effort and like do things because no one's going to save you guys. Like no one's going to actually, no one, it's not going to happen for you. You are the only one that's going to make active change in your life. So you have to decide for yourself, you know, do I want to make that change or do I just want to sit and rot and watch Instagram Reels all day? That's it. Just give signal. Guys, there's nothing to trade today. Like, could you have potentially taken this? Sure. There's just nothing. Like, I kind of knew that going in that I'm not going to touch anything. Like, look, this is technically a bullish setup and we're below the EQ already. You know? Where is the giveaway? It already happened. Oh, Otterbox? Yes, I agree. How to enter trade on 15-minute and 1 minute because it's very short time frame to break low or high from CISD. Well, if you can't do it on the 1 minute, then don't trade the 1 minute. Like that's a very simple question. If you can't do something, then don't do it. Find another way to do it. Like guys, I'm not even lying. A lot of the questions I ask on psychology really come down to stop doing stupid stuff in your trading. Hey guys, every time I go to the lower time frame and trade 30 times, I blow an account. Hey, have you ever considered not going to the lower time frame to trade or trading 30 times? You know what I mean? Like most of your problems are very simple fixes. You just fail to change because you don't like the discomfort of change. What's the indicator? It's my indicator. It's just, you can find it in the description if you want. TT, I'm going to train AI on your videos to be close to a 1-to-1 of your mindset. Okay, that'll be funny. If you use code TT on evaluations, then yeah, you get entered into giveaways each week. You'll just receive an email with an extra code to an account. That's how it works. Giveaway indicators, we can do that in the future. Like guys, here's the thing is like, I kind of did these streams this week. This is 3 streams in a week. I haven't done this like ever. So if you guys like it and you want me to continue, I can continue. There's gonna be certain weeks where it's like I can't stream because I'm busy, but I can continue. And then with that, we can give away evaluation accounts. We can give away indicator accounts. We can give away market lens subscriptions. We can give away stuff. Like I like to give away stuff. The thing is, guys, if you use code TT, I'll explain this to you. What happens, right? The prop firms are like, wow, a lot of people use his code. Let's give him more accounts to give away. So it's like a cycle, ready? It's like people use code TT and then they're like, hey, let's give him more accounts to give away. I give away more accounts to use code TT, and then I give away more. So like now I'm giving away like what? This week I'll probably give away like 20 accounts, something like that. I just like try to keep giving stuff away. The more like whatever accounts they give me, I just give away. That's it. Bro, you guys are okay. Let's chill in the trolling now. It's actually just a troll, so it's kind of not fun. Show us for where you are CISD. Well, like I was saying, I do consider this a change in the state of delivery here because of how it formed on the lower time frame. It has this very aggressive up-down shape, right? So I would consider that a change in the state of delivery, which it looks like it, depending on the closure, closed below, and then it retested the same level, which we can go to like over on the 3 minute. Yeah, you can see on 1 minute, right? Very aggressive up-down shape. But so I would consider their change in state of delivery there just based on the structure. Otherwise, you would have it here. And then this would be it once we close below it. The only thing is, guys, I just don't have a bias or a framework to be looking for this, right? Is the structure good? Sure. We have a V-shaped reversal in the structure, but this is what I'm saying is like, I don't pattern trade stuff, right? Could this work? Cool. I don't care. If it doesn't work, cool. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like you have to decide like, are you just going to sit here and pattern trade stuff? Or are you actually going to align with a higher time frame framework, a bias, all of that? Hey guys, also really quick, if you just spam the same thing every 30 seconds, I will just mute you or I won't answer your question. Like just ask it once and if I miss it, just give me a little bit. My view on your euro and pound, it's like we hit a relevant level. Could you trade this higher? Sure, but it's like a very aggressive day. You'd only be trading back to the daily open. Like I would just forget this, you know? Why don't I have a bias? I explained that in the very beginning. We have expansion lower, we have no relevant level, and we're reversing off previous day low. So with that, sure, I could see, us reaching a little bit back higher, but it's more of a consolidation day to me. You know what I mean? Like I talked about this, you guys can rewatch this video and explain, like you can see it in hindsight and then go back and see what I was thinking real time and see how that lines up. Right? Lens discount code, we don't run any discounts in Lens. We don't believe in them, except Black Friday we run one. I'm currently trying to set aside taxes for this quarter. I know you said you have an accountant, an online accounting form or a personal accountant. I have a personal accountant. No, my taxes are a bit complex with all the various things I do. So I handle that with a professional. Why do please, bro, if you guys are saying like dumb stuff, like I'm actually just gonna ban you from chat. Like you won't ever be able to type in here ever again. So, like think a little bit before you type, because like you're just trying to troll, go do it somewhere else. I'm not looking for another car. I have a car already and I have no really reason to get a new one. Is there live trading every day in the Lens? We don't know if we're gonna continue that. Let's see. All right, I'm putting you in timeout. I'll just put you in timeout to Warren. Guys, please stop coming in and just saying, hey, please give me this. Please give me this. All you're doing is spamming the chat asking me to give you stuff. I'm already doing giveaways. If you're banned on Discord, just send me a DM on Discord or reach out to TT Brother and we'll unban you from the Discord. Yeah, the RSQ8 is lit. Yeah, it's really fast and really loud. TT pays taxes, never meet your heroes. Yeah, for some reason I don't want the IRS coming and seizing all my assets. Like, I don't know, that's like a crazy idea, you know. But anyways, we'll probably end the chat soon because or the stream, because we're down to 800 people from 1,000. It looks like most people left because people were trolling. Really not much to talk about in terms of the actual price action. Could you see it go lower? Sure. I don't really care too much. You can frame it either way. YM is the weakest though. You could see how those switched above the highs, right? And Q got stronger. YM got weaker. One more giveaway. We'll see. If people stop trolling, I'll do a giveaway. But if people keep trolling, I'm just gonna do it elsewhere. You don't care about gold shorts? Not really. It can do its thing. I mean, actually, that actually formed pretty nicely. 4 hour. All right, so it actually did what we wanted. So we can watch this really quick. We have the SMT here, right? We were saying that it would need 0.5 of the wick, and then we need to open high into that, right? And so 15-minute, you can look. See how it's not that clear in the 15-minute? That's when you can go to the 5, right? And then, like I was saying, here I would need a new continuation to form, which we sweep out a high, close below, right? Which then says what? Let me clean up the chart really quick. It says that this is protected, and you want to see what? Hold 0.5 of that, right? Now, someone had a question on this, right? Does it need to reach into this fair value gap up here? Generally, I'd prefer it, but I don't really care because that'd be a little bit of a high reach. And then we close below here. So if I was bearish on gold, what would the entry look like? I'm a bit late to it because we weren't watching. Would it be like this, where you stop on the bodies, and then 2R minimum, right? And with this, just depends where you think it's going to go. If you think it's going to previous day low, then you have like a really nice trade. But if you're like, hey, we're more in a consolidation and you want to enter, and it's like, hey, I'd rather just target around the EQ of this range, it's right there as well, you know? Or maybe you want to be a little bit more safe and you're like, all right, well, we just have all these equal lows right here. So I'm going to take 1.5R, you know? So we got distracted by all the trolling and random questions, and we missed the one thing we were actually talking about. Ryan caught the gold shorts. Nice. Anyone else catch the gold shorts? And really quick, I'll talk about why this would be a target right here. It's because you notice this is a nice protected low, closure, nice protected low, right? And then these are failure swings from that. So a lot of times price will, if it's going to react, will take out failure swings like this and then go back up if we're still bullish. And so sometimes I'll adjust my targets to something like that because I'm not greedy when I don't have much of a higher time frame bias, right? You caught it. Why would you enter there? Well, because price retraces into this little fair value gap and then closes below the protected swing, as I teach it on YouTube. Like this is exactly what I would teach on YouTube, like mechanically speaking. Sweeps out a high, closes below. So this is the point of interest, closes below. 50% should be respected. Respects that into this little tiny fair value gap. Kind of hard to see. It's like right there. Closes below. And then you have one candle really that hits your TP. Like for personally, I would, if I was on a Friday taking this, like I would take off most of my position here and then either just hold a little break even or just be done. You know, I have it exactly like that. Well, nice trade. Well done. And yeah, so guys, the whole idea behind that is if we go back, if you can go rewatch this video and see what I was explaining, but we're gonna remove all the drawings. The whole idea is if we're gonna see this trade lower, we'd want to see this react, it closed in, and then we'd want to see the 4-hour candle open high into it to form its upper wick and then start to trade lower. So now the 4-hour candle supports expansion lower. The only thing is this 4-hour candle going to expand? Right, for me, could it consolidate? Sure, because we're kind of in this consolidation. And that's why I was saying I'd rather take some off at 1.5R, 2R, and then hold runners, right? Because could this just come back into the range? Sure, right? But really quick, I'll pull up the time frame so now you see what I mean, right? Here's our daily candle, here's our 4-hour candle. So you see how when I talk about expansion alignment or aligning higher time candles, this candle supports expansion, this candle supports expansion, right? So then you get this expansion lower. Now, looking at the daily profile, we either go to daily open because we have a larger wick, that's mechanical, or if we have failure swings here, you can reach for that, like I was saying. NQ had a London reversal. What do you think? I don't care about indices, guys. Genuinely don't care. We already spoke about this. If anything, we were talking about why I'm back lower. It's just a consolidation day for me. What time frame are you looking at? This is a 5 minute. You can see it up here. It'll tell you 5 minute. So this is 5 minute. This is hourly. This is 4 hour. This is daily. So I'm just like viewing all the time frames together, because you'll notice when true expansion occurs, it's when these time frames are kind of all aligned together. I love how I'm like teaching and everyone just giveaway, 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 giveaway. Makes me not want to do a giveaway. The C2 don't sweep C1, so it's not a valid short, right? No, it does. You guys need to watch my candle 3 closure video. This isn't a candle 2, this is a candle 3 closure, which sets up candle 4. You notice how there's a candle 2 closure video and a candle 3 closure video? There's a reason there's 2 of them. All right, we'll stay on for like 10 more minutes. If people ask for giveaways, I'll just mute you. We'll answer most of the questions, then we'll do a giveaway and end it. Right? So I would say that the biggest thing you can pull from this whole stream is maybe some relative strength weakness stuff on NQESYM, but I would focus on the whole idea on gold, which like these closures help a lot on these assets. But yeah, this is actually clean. I'm a bit upset. Actually, I didn't see this. I got distracted. Otherwise, I probably would have taken this. A bit upsetting. All right. We'll do one more giveaway. It's for a, let's go here. Oh, I already removed it. But it'll be for a Lucid Pro 50K eval. Do one of those today. And then this is the code, and I will drop the link. All right, that's the last giveaway for today. Three giveaways is fine in my eyes. Lucid 50K Pro eval. That's what it is. Kind of the same thing here. See the structure already. You have a nice V shape and then the first failure swing. Nice V shape, first failure swing. I like targeting those, especially when I'm not trying to be greedy. I can't stop seeing patterns and not focusing on context. So, really quick, how do you fix that? You're going to throw this in there. How do you fix that problem? So, you guys have to, if you can identify a problem, that means you can fix it, right? You just have to identify the problem, then find the solution. So if your problem is pattern trading, essentially, right? This is a really easy fix. So how do we fix it? Ready? If your whole problem is you have no higher time frame context in your pattern trading, don't go to the lower time frame until you have context. Boom, easy fix. Why would you go down to the lower time frames, look for an entry until you have a reason to? Like here, you could have sat on the 4 hour or 1 hour chart. And by that, I mean, you could literally just wait until 10 a.m., which we were talking about it, but wait till 10 a.m., you look and you say, oh, wise, candle 3 closure. That's aligned. My 4 hour candle, that works. Then you go to the hourly, to the 5 minute, right? So you don't need to, really, your fix is stop going to the lower time frames before you have a reason to. And I promise, like, I don't promise, but I'm saying it's like, I bet that's your biggest problem is you sit there on the lower time frames and then you take trades and you're like, wow, I just pattern traded it. Well, just fix it. That's boring though. Yeah, making money, it's so boring, man. Who wants to do that? Not me. I haven't really mastered higher time frame bias. This is also going back to victim. I am? I can't even spell victim right now. You have to realize I was really bad at English. I was just good at math. think it's IM, right? Yeah, it's IM. Mentality. No one is going to save you. You alone need to put in work. If you tell me I suck at X, well, then work and practice to learn X. That's really what it comes down to. Hey, I suck at this. Great, cool. I sucked at that once too. I just worked harder. You know what I mean? Like, you think I just was born and I'm like, hey guys, I'm really good with daily bias. Like, no. Any trades that live rent free in your head? I have one trade that I took that was like my favorite trade I've ever taken. I can go find it for you. I have to remember the day. 2020. If I see the lower time frame structure, I'll remember. I think it's this day. Hourly, it has like a gap. Yeah. Boom. Is this trade. Bang. 5 minute. Look how clean this 5 minute is, guys. All right. Let's replay it. This is right prior to open. 4-hour candle supports. I didn't even know like do this back then. I was just trading like, oh, we formed this. My model wasn't the same in 2023, but anyways, look at this. We have a little consolidation. We sweep out equal highs, closure through. Entry like this before the open. I think I took the retest entry on this one too, because that's when I was doing retest entries, not just closures. And then you just hold this sucker. And like, I didn't hold for the whole move, but like, I held to like most of the morning. Like, it was an insane trade. And then I went to school. But it was like, that was the most interesting trade. I like felt like I missed a ton looking back because it like went all the way there. I think I went to like somewhere in here. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, that was the trade that lives in my head, I guess. And I think it's because it was so clean too. Why did the discount disappear when I entered the code for the account? Well, guys, you gotta, like, this is what I said too. The discount was for one person. This is the code. This one will give you, depending on how many accounts you got, either 50% or 40% off. But like, the giveaway codes are for one person, so it's just whoever's fastest. It's not everyone gets free counts. It's not really how it works. I don't really use much of like the correlations between metals. So like if we go, let's go to gold again. Like for this move, right? You guys remember me coming in, I was saying, hey, we have SMT here at 10 a.m. If we have a nice closure, we could look for it, right? I was doing that because the SMT there. Now, I wasn't really watching, but like generally speaking, if we didn't have a big reversal candle like this, I wouldn't be as interested because this formed a reversal here. But I just use them like that. I don't really sit here and I don't know metals like I know indices. So I'm not as good with like the switching of like strengths, what's stronger, weaker, where they placed, all that, because I don't really treat it like that. So, but YM, we already reached into the fair value gap. So just, it's a range day, guys. So like that's it for me. That's all I got. Why don't I teach PSPs? Do I need to? I can teach them, but like, do I use them? Not really. Like a PSP doesn't really help me, for me at least, because I mostly trade continuations. I'm not trading the reversal. Like for gold here, was there a PSP? I don't know. Maybe, no. I don't really use it. It's just doesn't, I don't do it. You finished school in comp sci? No, I didn't. I never studied computer science. Okay, so those of you asking how I have these, this is just my indicator. It's linked in the description. But it's just that And then that marks out my model for me. So like right here, you know, once we get the closure through this area, it'll be like, hey, you have a candle 2 closure on YM here, right? Because this candle flows back inside this one. And then once you have the change in the state of delivery, it's saying the reversal has formed here and we can look for a continuation lower. However, this is my first target, and then you'll notice it'll mark out second target there, right? So it already hit the first 2 targets. It depends on your bias. Like, do you think we're going to go a lot lower or not, right? Kind of the same thing here, right? It marks out the green. That's where I'm looking for continuations higher, right? Gray is where I'm looking for continuations lower. It's basically my model coded up so I can be a little bit more lazy. That's it. I don't know how to get both time frames next to each other like that. All right, this is what you do. Ready? We're going to go over this. You have the indicator, right click, copy, right click, paste. Where's the paste? Okay, now I have 2 of them. Okay, now I'm going to change this from that to the 15-minute. I don't want to see all the things though. Okay, so now I have them overlapping. That looks like crap, right? Great. Now come up here to offset. I think it's 17. What I do? And then there we go. So now I have that one and that one. You know? The indicator name, it's in the description. I have weeks of doing good and 1 week like this where I mess it all up. Well, most likely, is it a week or is it a day? Answer that. Week or is it a day? The week, probably just need a max loss on the week. But if I had to guess, most of the time it's a day where you just go on a complete tilt. So for most people, I say, hey, try to do max 1 trade a day. Because what does that do? It fixes the whole weekly problem and the daily problem. Because if you do only 1 trade a day, you're not going to go on tilt because you can only allow 1 trade a day. You're not really going to have a week that's terrible because if you do 1 trade a day, that's at max 5 losses in a row. It's 5 losses. If you have 2R, that's 2.5 winners cover it. You know what I mean? That's what I would say. Yesterday, I had a very emotional day and I took a 3% loss on 2 trades. Exactly. 1 trade a day max. There you go. Covers it. Where did you get your strength and weakness knowledge between pairs? Guys, when you just sit here and you watch stuff for a long time, you just notice how they react together. Like I used to sit in 2022, 2023, I wasn't really knowing what I was doing like that, but I had a side monitor with just YM, NQ, ES all together with a 15-minute and 1 minute together. And I just sat there and watched them, how they react together. Right? Is it possible to use your paid indicator on TradesLA? No, it's not built into TradesLA yet. I may ask them to. Do you enter your trades on breakout or retest? It depends, right? Like, let me see if there's SMT here. No. But like right here, I'm just entering on the close through. Because here's the thing, I don't know if price is going to retest this entry. So why would I give up 2 points, 1 point for a whole trade? Right? It's a bit different if price closes. Like let's say it was this closure. I'm not going to enter this on the breakout with my stop up there. Right? Then I would need a new continuation. So, all right. We're going to end that. You know what? Those of you that joined, there's only 672. We'll do one another giveaway for those of you that actually join and stay. I appreciate you guys. This will be a... Put it in chat. I did used to play Rainbow Six Siege. All right, there you go. There is a 50K growth account from Tradeify with the code. Thank you guys for staying. I know you guys are the ones that are here, not just for the giveaways. So there's a giveaway for you. And you're actually here to learn. So we'll probably end it there. Thanks for joining in. And thanks for using code TT because I do turn off the ads on all this stuff. I do a bunch of giveaways, all that. Am I a real guy? No, I'm actually an AI. Like I don't actually exist. Definitely not a real person at all. Next week again? We'll see if I have time. The next few weeks I'm busy because I'm spending time with my family. Next week my grandparents are here, and then my family comes here, and my girlfriend will be here, all that stuff. So, how are people so fast? I don't know. Okay, really quick. Can someone who's good with like, I don't know what the bots are and anything like, but YouTube and stuff, can you DM me on Discord and be like, here's how you set up the marbles or whatever it is to do giveaways? Opinion on Jim Simons. I have no idea who that is, so I couldn't tell you. Is that question, oh, that question is legit because you sound like AI. I'm definitely a normal person. I promise. Gave me $159 off. It wasn't a free account. Guys, the free accounts, they go quickly. So it's like someone's fast. All right, and I probably won't have a weekly recap video, guys. I did 3 streams this week. You know, like I did 3 streams this week. I have a video coming out tomorrow. Like I need to record videos to post. I'm behind on that. It's like I need to do that. I don't really have time for a stream, another stream. Yeah, the marble. Yeah, but I just need to figure out how to set up the marbles game or like whatever it is for giveaways. Anyways, we're at 560 people, so we're just gonna end it here. Thanks for hopping on, joining. I'll see you guys next time. If you have any questions, in Discord. All right, see ya.